Year, Cougars!
Oh.
How is everyone? We are so excited to be
Happy New Year!
back at it. I did enjoy the time with my family,
Oh my
but I
gosh.
missed my routine.
I know.
I needed my
I
routine
know.
back. My kids needed
And
my
I got
routine
this
back.
this cool new sweatshirt that has
Oh,
like, my
Principal
name on
Fonzie.
it. Yes, yeah, I love it.
Love
I
it.
love it. Okay, so Cougars, we do have a lot to cover with you today, but we definitely want to take a moment and a breath to say
Happy New Year! Fresh start, fresh new beginnings. Woo! I like the new year because to me it's a way for me to get a fresh outlook on everything. So I'm trying to take 2021 and put 2020 behind me and move forward.
That is so true, Mrs. Irvine, and I hope that you're doing the same, Cougars. And along those notes, we think it's really important that we start this year off right. So go ahead and hit my slide.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, so
Yep.
it's coming. It's coming. So one of the things that I do as your principal is I work with the students and I work with the teachers.
Yep.
And
We're
one of
here, we work together.
That's right. And one of the things I talk a lot with the teachers about is that in order for us to do our best, we need to have strong expectations.
Very strong.
And so I use this drawing a lot with the teachers. I will hold my hands up or I'll draw on a whiteboard a mountain. And at the top of that mountain, I draw a peak. And I say that the peak of the mountain are the best expectations that I have.
Absolutely.
And would you say, Mrs. Irvine, that most of the teachers in this school have very strong expectations?
Yes, absolutely.
And there's no way to be a top performing school unless we have those mountaintop expectations.
Yep, high expectations.
And I know that most of the students in this school are reaching for the peak of this mountain and they're doing their best with their dedicated effort. Right, Mrs. Irvine?
Absolutely, because if you don't have dedicated effort, you're getting nowhere, guys.
But there are some of us who do struggle with having those strong expectations. And for those students, because I believe in them as well, just because you struggle doesn't mean that you're not a good student or that you don't have worth or value. I always talk about the boundary and the consequence.
Yep.
And in this school, when we're talking about boundaries, we use our PBIS
Matrix.
That's right. And to understand our matrix, I thought I would put it up here. So see right there? There's our
Dedicated effort.
That's
our
right.
DE at the end.
our
Now,
dedicated effort.
Miss Irvine's going to zoom in a little bit so you guys can see the ones that we're really going to focus on here.
So what I want to focus on, especially in January, as we're getting ready to restart the year, is this idea about the dedicated effort that you need to have as a student when you're completing your assignments. So let's say that your teacher tells you now it's time to go to Think Central or it's time to go to East Park. As a parent, what do you expect, Mrs. Irvine?
My kid to get on their laptop and to get into Think Central and do what's expected of them. Absolutely.
And most of our students, again, are at that mountaintop peak and doing a great job. But some of our friends are struggling. They are not completing their assignments. They are not asking for help when it's needed. They're not submitting their work on time, and there's lots of missing assignments. So for those students, I want to talk about the boundary, which would be when we give them what? What do we give Mrs. Irvine?
We set the expectation, and if we cannot fulfill the expectation, then there becomes a consequence.
So the boundary for us is really using that office and classroom referral.
Yep.
So your classroom teacher has classroom referrals, and I've talked to all the staff about they can use those classroom referrals when you're really getting those missing assignments and they're piling up.
And if you're really struggling, now of course they're going to talk to you first and say, you know, you have 4 or 5 or 10 or whatever it is missing assignments, and they're going to say to you, I really need you to get this stuff done or I'm going to have to give you a referral. Now at this point,
Yep, Schwarzkopf is just like baseball, boys and girls. So we have 1, 2,
3 strikes, you're out.
That's right. So if you are striking out because you're not completing your assignments and you've had 1, 2, 3 classroom referrals, then what happens?
You get an office referral, and now you're going to Miss Fonzie, and at that point, the consequence is definitely going to be a lot worse.
Well, and especially if we're in a remote environment. See, boys and girls, when we're in person, there's all kinds of consequences that teachers can come up with. We can take away recess, we can ask you to do an extra assignment, we can work with you to make sure that you're really doing your best. But when we're in a remote environment, it's a little bit different.
Yep.
And the consequences that I have to offer you are much different. So if I go back to my Utica Community Schools handbook, when I'm looking at disciplinary consequences, there's a potential that I might even take some suspension, and that would be really terrible.
Yeah,
wouldn't it?
suspension's hard because Miss Fonte, won't that like follow you forever? Like, doesn't that go on my permanent record if I got suspended?
Well, it does go onto your academic record, and that academic record is a record that is shared within Power School. So it's really important, boys and girls, that you're taking the steps that you need in order to get your work done so that we're not taking it to the next level. And I want to be clear here, we're going to always take time to set expectations. We're always going to work with you and help you understand. But on that third classroom referral, there is a potential that office referral. And then underneath that office referral, there are other consequences that could be actually taking an action against you that would go onto your academic record. So that's really important, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so let's move on to the fun stuff now that we're through that expectation setting.
Okay, so our epic totals this week.
Woo!
6th grade, you guys rocked it. You guys
Awesome
went
job!
crazy.
Awesome
You
job.
got, I think it was like 247 hours,
Yes.
which is way, as you guys can see, above any other grade. So outstanding 6th grade. Now you just got to keep it up.
Go grab those extra raffles.
And
because you just
as
came
you know, things get harder and harder.
in.
You guys got to keep it going, 6th grade.
So 6th graders, good job. I want to congratulate last month's winners.
Oh yes, last month for December. Woo! Who do you guys think it is? 2nd grade.
Good job!
Miss
So
Mullick,
2nd grade.
Miss Corona, and Miss Duncan. You guys, your 2nd graders pulled it off and were our top epic readers for the whole month of December. They didn't start off super strong either. They were
Right.
okay, and then they pulled it off in the end. So way to go, 2nd graders.
And congratulations to our 6th graders. Let's keep this going, boys and girls, so that we can be sure that maybe 6th grade will bump the 2nd grade out of that top spot. But now it's time. First, we're going to do our Ding Dong Slurpee Surprise.
Okay, you're gonna choose that one.
Yeah, I'll
Okay,
choose
Miss
that one.
Fonte's
And then
gonna
you can
get
do
that one
you
this
can do
time.
Paw Patrol. We get all of our winners in here.
Oh, okay, there we go. It's an orange.
It's Nick from Tyson. Congratulations.
Oh, Nicholas from Miss Tyson's class. Good for you. Awesome. So you will be getting your Ding Dong Slurpee surprise. And let's see.
Okay, you almost got one. Keep going, keep going, keep going. No, you got two. Put one
Oh.
down. Okay, you got one.
Okay, I got one. Oh, another orange. Oh, Marcus Brico from Miss Strong's class. And actually, this was given by Miss Slanzik.
Oh, winner of the Paw
awesome.
Patrol. Good job.
Marcus, for I'm sure when you were meeting with Miss Slanzik, doing an outstanding job. So keep it up, friends. Show that. Ready?
Yep.
Positive respect, integrity, dedicated effort. That's who we are. Okay, Cougars, have a great rest of your week. Okay, Karen needs these back because she needs